Okay. You guys need to slow down. I can't even read the chat. Moving too fast.
Yeah, that's a chat that's moving too fast. Fuck, is it moving ever so fast? We're live finally. I had a lot of issues today. Welcome, pigs, to chock full of episodes, issues, and episodes, I guess. Not lately. Whatever. Well, it's episode 570, so that's a podcast that's chocked full of episodes. Welcome to the show. My name is Casey, aka Razinon. I'm joined by Tanner, and today we are doing it finally. Well, we're starting it, I should say. The death of COD. Now, before we start, just a couple of small announcements. Sorry we're late. No one cares and watches live or watches ever or listens ever, so I'm talking to no one. But my fucking car was all fucked, so that set me back. And then it's fine now, though. The battery was fine, by the way, thanks to the one person in Discord who attempted to help. But the battery was totally fine. It just needed a jump start because it hadn't been running too long. So that was nice, but still took whatever 40 minutes. And then of course OBS just crashes. Hasn't crashed in years, but when I'm running late it crashes. So cool, got it. So we're starting later than normal, which means we're ending sooner than normal. So that leads to announcement number 2. This will certainly be a 2-part episode. So we will continue this on likely next Saturday, perhaps on Thursday if we wanna. Let's see if Cloudflare's working and Twitter's up. Hey, yeah, that's what's gonna be the determining factor, is whether or not Twitter works. Because that is the beginning and end of our research into anything ever, is twitter.com or x.com as it is now known. Other than that, yeah, no real announcements. Patreon.com/Dropshot, best way to support the show. Let's get into it. So today, what are we talking about? The death of Call of Duty. Now, I've given some preamble before, but I'll give another one for this episode specifically so that this can be self-contained. Number 1, again, this will be a 2-part episode. And number 2, this is not an objective retrospective on the industry, on the franchise. There will be no facts. There will be no logic. There will be some half-truths, some misrememberings, some outright fabrications, in fact. Everything we can do to make COD look even worse than it is, we will do. Like crazy. Yeah. We will lie lots, just like them, just like they've done to us, right? Hey, it's only fair that we pay it forward, or pay it back, as it were, to them for the fucking billions of times they've lied to us. Sure, I'll lie about them back. I don't care. But all of that is to say, sincerely, this is a look back at Call of Duty from when this podcast began. And it began at the same time crossplay happened. So it really is a whole era, the crossplay era, which happens to coincide with the podcast. And it's a look back at everything that we can, everything that we can remember that was really, really bad news. Okay. So this is not going to be a review of MW19 and Cold War and Vanguard and so on. It is going to be a half review, negative only review of all of those games. This is going to be purely bitching and moaning. It's
going to be a
complaining.
Bundle of lies. Yeah.
And it's going to be a bundle of lies. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So like, did some of these games have good aspects to them? Yeah. They probably did. Maybe. Some of them probably might have.
My brain has erased them, I think.
Those have been excised from my memory because it has been so massively outweighed by the torrential downpour of dog shit that each of them brought with the sprinklings of good that they may have had. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is not going to be a review of every game. It's going to be us shitting on every game, because what is the point of this episode, this 2 or 3 part, maybe episode, right? Maybe 4.
Even 4. Yeah.
It could be 5. The point is to illustrate to you all why Call of Duty, why we specifically are done with Call of Duty. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Call of Duty.
So keep that inside of your minds. And we're going to go through, we do have some notes down here. We will add to them as we go.
A lot of them. You're right.
I wrote an amount. I wrote an amount of them.
This is a minimum 3-part episode, by the way. Because you're going to talk and bitch and moan and lie so much about MW19. That's going to be the whole episode today. I promise you. So
this might be a 7-part episode, one episode for each game. Yeah, it's possible.
Is this really the 7th game since the pod started? Jesus Christ.
Don't know.
Wild.
That's one of the lies that's in the bundle.
It is.
Oh, is it?
It's a lie, but it's a lie, but let's fact check. MW19 is 1. Cold War, that would make 2. Vanguard would make 3. MW2, MW3. Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7. It's technically 7.
That's 7. Yeah.
It
so
feels
this will
more
be a
like
7-part
5 in
series.
my mind, or actually like 3, but yeah.
With how many Saturday episodes we'll inevitably skip, we will be continuing this series for the rest of the calendar year 2026. So hope that helps. Because then we need to wrap up episodes as 8. We'll beat this bit to death. And then anyway, so basically the plan is go through each game, chronological order, if we remember the order correctly, and then some other things too. Some other things as well. But we won't get to those other things today.
Ramin is in the house. Shout out Ramin.
Ramin is in the house. Ramin,
and he's here for MW19. Perfect.
Earmuffs, buddy.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to be complaining. You can say a few good things.
I could, but I won't.
Okay.
I could, but I will not. I will not. So
noted.
And that leads us into MW19. So in many ways, MW19 holds a special place in my heart, and I will die on this hill. I'll get gunned down on this hill. I'll get mortar stricken on this hill.
Yeah.
I'll get cluster bombed on this hill. I will get hydrogen bombed on this hill. I will die on it. This is the worst game of the crossplay era, and it really isn't that close at all. I'll die on it. Sure, I'll die on the hill. It's really, really bad news for, so many reasons. It took me about 8 picoseconds to think of everything, and then the rest of the time was spent actually typing it. I can't type that fast. But there is so much wrong with this fuck-ass, miserable-ass, dog-shit-ass game. And this is what started the ball rolling, as it were, of trash. Of slop trash. Because when you think of MW19, when I think of MW19, as I said, this is the beginning of the crossplay era. And that was the beginning of the end. That heralded the beginning of the end. By the way, when did we get casual Warzone? MW3 or BO6?
Black Ops 6.
Didn't ask.
I don't. Again, this is all. It's lies.
This is a bundle of lies.
Nobody knows. We got casual mode in MW2. Actually, that's what we're gonna go with.
Okay, we'll go with that. I just want to write it down before I forget. But anyway, back to MW19. So this was the start of. This is when we started the podcast, and this was the start of the crossplay era. I think it is like a separate epoch in Call of Duty, because before this, the last game before this was Black Ops 4. That's when Tanner and I started playing Call of Duty together. We were playing Black Ops 4 on PC, on Battle.net. The only way you could play it was on Battle.net. And you could play with a controller, but there was literally no aim assist. So it was just a complete throw to play on controller. Because a controller is significantly worse than keyboard and mouse if it doesn't have aim assist. It's a terrible input. That's why it has aim assist, and that's why it needs aim assist. Now,
garbage input.
Dog shit input. Now, we'll get to that, trust me, but which is to say, there was no crossplay. Everyone played on keyboard and mouse. If someone was playing on controller, you were happy. They're free. So that's what Tanner and I started playing on. And this was a Treyarch game. And Tanner and I played the motherfuck out of that game. This is also before Warzone, by the way. So there was Blackout, which was the BR that didn't pop on Battle.net because, again, no cross input really, and no cross play either. So we weren't playing against people on Xbox or PlayStation.
There were 100 total players worldwide playing at one time ever.
Maybe. Maybe that. So like it was way too dead to start a Blackout lobby. Not that we were interested anyway. So we just played sixes all the time, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun playing it. And it had some bad things that MW19 got rid of, to be fair, such as the loot boxes. MW19 was going to do it, and then they caved to pressure from leakers.
Yeah.
So they were going to do it, but they got pressured out of it. So that's good. But hey, MW19 brought a lot of bad shit too, which we're going to get into now. So then, BO4, Tanner and I are playing it. We're having fun. I'm like, hey, we should do a podcast. Tanner agrees. We start it when MW19 happens, or right before, maybe, actually. I don't exactly recall. So then it launches, and this is when, it's a fundamental shift in how Call of Duty is played, mainly because you get crossplay. So now all of a sudden, if you're on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation, you can play against each other and cross input with aim assist. And boy, has that been a thorn in the side of my side for 7 years. Or 6, I guess, because I switched to controller. But it bothers me that I have to, so 7, yeah. That brought a whole list of issues.
Yeah.
Oh, not to mention this. Most of which is aim assist. Yeah, the big problem with the crossplay. So MW19 comes out. What's wrong with it? Well, first of all, I don't think crossplay necessarily in and of itself is like a problem, but I kind of do because the aim assist is way too strong, or was way too strong, and it's basically impossible to balance. Like they've nerfed it now, but keep in mind, it's 2026. This was 2019.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's been a long time coming. So for the last 7 fucking years, it was way too goddamn strong. This subject has been beaten to death, so I'm not going to talk about how strong aim assist is, but we were playing on keyboard and mouse, and it felt very unfair to be trying to play against robot aim, server-side robot aim, not client-side robot aim, by the way, as a human being using a keyboard and mouse who's not perfect. By the way, time to kill was 1/10 of the BO4 time to kill also. So that didn't help at all.
It sure was. Yep.
And so when you combine all of those things and the terrible visibility, what am I supposed to do on a keyboard and mouse?
Shoot them. Yeah.
But the thing that's a great point, Tanner. But the interesting thing about that is it's really hard to shoot someone I can't see if I have to aim. Yeah. But if I'm on a controller, it's not, the robot sees everything. It will get aim assist drag before you even know I'm on your screen. Maybe you'll never know I'm on the screen. Yeah. But these were the big problems. These were like our hobby horse. I think that's the phrase.
I've never heard anybody use that phrase in my life, so I don't know.
Someone in chat, let me know. There's no one chatting.
Hey, Ramin, do you know?
Ramin, have you ever heard that before? Google it. That was our pet peeve, was aim assist. But that wasn't why MW19 was bad on the whole. It's just that it started with this game. The really crazy aim assist started with this game because this is where crossplay started. Yeah. Now, every game since then will have that. We'll get back to it every single time. I'll remind you every single time. But what did MW19 have that was uniquely bad, even if you were a controller player with aim assist? Okay, again, visibility, really dog shit. Probably the worst of every game since this podcast started. Really isn't close at all. To this day, I could go to Shoot House, go to the lane that has the junkyard, And if someone's in that dark corner, they can be emoting and I won't see them. Terrible, terrible, terrible visibility. Time to kill again was way too fast. The maps were fucking awful. Also, by the way, you remember Piccadilly? Yum.
Piccadilly wasn't very good.
Piccadilly was really bad. So were most of the maps that I don't remember the names of. The only MW19 maps I do remember were good maps. That's why I remember them, because they were good or at least decent. Like Shoot House, for example. Good map.
Arklov
Peak, good map in 10s, way too big in 6s. And then I do remember one map, and I've said this dozens of times, and I will say it again. There has never been a space, okay, a spatial temporal location, okay, in real life or in fiction. And I mean any fiction. So comic books, novels, graphic novels, fucking mangas, television, movies, video games, tabletop games, your nephew's imagination. No fictional location has ever existed that is worse than Grozna fucking Raid. That is the most poorly designed space that anyone's ever conceived of. And I can't believe it was not only a map in this game, but it was also a 6s map. What the motherfuck are we doing? It is so bad. It's insulting to me as a consumer that you designed this map and let it go to launch. And that not everyone hates it. So, not to mention, it was the worst map that's ever been made. Azir Cave, great one. Really bad map also. That was in the beta. And I remember us playing the beta, and I don't remember what the beta maps were, but they weren't great. I remember that. And we got Azir Cave and said, yikes, this game's looking kind of fucking chalked, bud. It's looking kind of chalked. Turns out we were bang on the money, because it was kind of chalked all fucking year. Really bad game. Really, really bad game. Mainly because of the visibility was awful. The audio was fucking terrible, terrible, terrible. Plus dead silence. Poorly designed dead silence, by the way. And the maps were really bad.
Well, dead silence was actually better in that game, right? Because you couldn't take it as a perk. So actually less people had dead silence.
Well, it was a field upgrade. You could take a perk to charge it fast, and then every time you got a kill, it refreshed the duration. So you could have dead silence forever.
Well, you could have dead silence literally forever if you just had the perk. So actually that game had, out of all of the games, that's probably the best one for what we like in terms of how dead silence was.
Well, the difference is the dead silence. Yeah, no, you're probably right, actually. I was going to say the difference is that field upgrade dead silence was really strong, whereas the dead silence perk isn't that strong, but that just isn't true. The dead silence perk is also really strong.
Untrue, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
The red dots on the minimap was that just
that was really insane.
That was probably one of the worst aspects of the game, actually. That's really what screwed up just the flow of everything, I think. Honestly, looking at the overall MW 2019 map list, it's crazy because looking back at it, that's better maps than like BO6 had. Like
well,
a lot
look at launch maps though.
Much better maps.
Launch maps though, because I agree. Like every year, that's what I was about to say. Like pretty much every year, to Activision's credit, if the game launches with really bad maps, they do add better ones as the year goes on.
Except for BO6.
I guess except BO6, but generally they've been doing that
the whole year. Yeah,
and that does
for BO7.
That is true for MW19. The like DLC maps were substantially better than the launch maps, but the launch maps were really fucking bad.
It didn't have any like standout amazing maps, but most of them were like at least a mid, I think. Like Arklov, mid. Euphrates Bridge, no cap on a stack. It was actually fun as fuck on 10s. Like that was a really fun.
That was a fun map. It wasn't a good map, but it was fun.
Grozna Raid was fine. Gunrunner,
it was
fine.
Terrible. Gunrunner was good.
Hackney Yard was
good.
Ramaza I thought was really good. Shoot House, those are the decent launch maps. And then the ones that came after were good. That's when we got like Vacant, Crash, Atlas Superstore,
Superstore's
Hard
fine.
Hat, Backlot, Sawmill, Scrapyard. So we ended up having actually a lot of good maps because there were remasters and whatnot. But
Right.
Sixes was just awful in that game.
Sixes was terrible. Yeah, it was really bad. And the maps were really bad. But like the main thing for me, I forgot about like I said, this is going to be a bundle of lies and things we've forgotten.
It's all lies. Nothing. We haven't said it.
If you were cut by paper 1,000 times and then succumbed to your injuries, would you remember each individual cut? Probably not. We won't either. Okay. So those are some of the things we forgot. Yeah. No red dots on the minimap. Totally forgot about that. Fucking insane. Completely insane. Time to kill was way too fast. Launch maps were bad. Visibility and audio were just awful, though. These are the biggest sticking points for me. These are the biggest sticking points for me by far. Because as I've said probably literally hundreds of times doing this podcast, if I can't see or hear anyone in a first-person shooter video game, can't play it. I can't shoot things that I can't perceive, obviously. And it was just really fucking bad all year. Yeah. And then, stopping power. What the fuck are we doing? I mean, there was no stopping power in BO4. Like, hey, it was a neat idea in 2005 when you made fucking BO1 or whatever. But have we not learned our lesson by now? It seemed like we did in BO4 and then we reintroduced stopping power. Kill yourself. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Really retarded. And then, all of this is not to mention Call of Duty Warzone. Okay? So this is another way in which we can say this was a new era of COD. Not only was it the crossplay era, but it was also the Warzone era. Okay.
The game was buggy, by the way, too. This was when the whole game was buggy. This was when they really started having issues with bugs, was the introduction of crossplay, cross-platform. Just the popularity of the game and everything skyrocketed at that point. But I just remember it took them forever to fix certain weird bugs. Like how on PC, you couldn't use the one field upgrade or whatever the hell it was where you can get 2 field upgrades, whatever the fuck that was.
Yep.
Whatever that was. Like,
it was
you
a
couldn't,
perk, I think.
It was bugged for genuinely like 2 or 3 months, I think, where like you just couldn't use that because it would only call in one of them or something. Just a bunch of weird little things like that it's like, how are they not fixing this and why? That's when all that started.
Right. Yes. Extremely buggy. Yeah, extremely buggy. And this is also, so like we got Warzone and it was accidentally a smashing success. And I mean that purely accidentally. Accidentally.
Yeah, no, I mean, they came out after basically and said they didn't like a bunch of aspects of the game, so
that's why it was good.
Why they designed things. And then that's why they designed what they wanted to design, and that was MW2 Warzone.
Yeah, exactly.
So this was genuinely an accident.
Yeah. Yes, it was. So like we accidentally got Warzone and then they had to shift a lot of focus to that because it was so popular, and then COVID happened. That once we started playing that, then we became like Warzone mains because multiplayer was, I mean, especially when they got rid of 10's Dom, multiplayer was just a failed prospect. Like, I'm not playing multiplayer anymore. Now that I've played Warzone, I'm done with multiplayer. So then we became like Warzone mains. And Warzone was like good in some respects, but in a lot of respects, more than they were good, it was really fucking bad. Why? Verdansk.
Why?
Let's start there. Let's start with the map itself. Not a good map. I've been saying this since 2020. You guys can go check the VODs. We have 500. We have all but one episode from our past still up. Okay.
Yeah.
You can go watch any episode from 2020 and you will find me saying Verdansk is not a good map. And I stand by it. And that's on Mamas. And you can go play Verdansk fucking now, 7 years later. Really cool, by the way. I'm not tired of it at all. And you can confirm for yourself Not a good map. It's not a well-designed map. We've had better big maps. They could do better. This ain't it, Chief. That wasn't it, Chief. Why was it bad? Well, there were no repels. Snipers would one-shot, headshot anywhere. They had insane aim assist. So good luck competing with that. Even if you're on controller, good luck competing. Some guy with a car who has aim assist turned on is going to be on top favorite. You won't be able to go up there because he'll have claymores on both the stairs. There's no repels. And you're just going to get your bitch ass headshotted. And he did 8 recon contracts. So he's already in the last building waiting. He's going to jerk off prone to an Amaranth stream on his second monitor until he hears the final gas circles coming in. And then he's going to stand up, pop your head. He'll have 20 kills from the claymores, by the way. And then he wins the game. And then he wins the game because there's no way to get up. There were so many buildings like this. Plus Promenade. Just a really bad map. It was a really
very
bad
good map, actually, which made for great clips. That's what I think.
Okay. Terrible map. It's not a very good map. It's a really bad map. And it was way worse back then because there were no repels. There were no balloons. There were no zip lines. It was just shit. Just a dog shit, shitty map. Dog shitty map.
Don't spell TikTok like that, Ramin.
Tic Tac. That's a Tic Tac.
I've somehow never seen anybody misspell TikTok in that way. God damn it. That's funny.
So anyway, that was really bad stuff. And like, if that were it, like, oh, Warzone was cool, but Verdansk was a bad map. Okay. But hey, that wasn't even fucking close to it. Oh, that wasn't close. It had all of the problems I mentioned about multiplayer. So terrible visibility, terrible audio, worse really audio than multiplayer.
Yeah.
By the way.
Dude, that was back
yeah.
when we had to run filters to try to see things better.
Yep.
That was all on OG Verdansk. This actually wasn't the worst visibility Warzone's ever had, by the way. That's during Cold War Warzone. Verdansk Warzone.
That might be true.
Verdansk 84 had worse visibility. But both were terrible, yeah.
Yeah, both were really bad. Both were really bad. But yeah, it was insanely bad. Audio, I don't know if it's ever been worse than MW19 though. I don't know if it's been worse. I mean, just horrific audio. And there was dead silence in Warzone. By the way.
Yes, and like stopping power in Warzone.
Just horrendous stuff. And stopping power in Warzone, yeah. So, it had all of those things as well. On top of cheaters. This was what actually drove us away, ultimately. It wasn't the fucking bugs. It wasn't the aim assist. It wasn't dying to no audio. It wasn't dying to people I can't see, but I should have been able to see. It wasn't getting zoned by fucking It's Iron doing recons. It was fucking cheaters because there were, I don't know what months, but there was a stretch of like 3 months where Tanner and I just did not want to do it. Because back then we would do episodes. I think you're getting a little
ahead of it. That was during Cold War. I think Cold War on Verdansk was when the cheaters were really, really bad. That was when we stopped playing for a while because it was genuinely unplayable. It wasn't that early into MW19. I mean, Warzone didn't launch until March. Like we didn't already take a break like a few months in before. It was definitely during Cold War. I'm pretty dang sure.
Maybe.
That was when everything was worse because there was the DMR meta that everyone was running around with and all of them were also spin botting.
I recall, I mean, cheaters were really bad before Cold War and during Cold War also. I don't know when they were worse. I don't remember when we took that break. So maybe it was during Cold War. I thought it was before Cold War launch, but maybe not. But there was like 3 months where, okay, so maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'll just say it now anyway. Around this time, maybe Cold War had happened. It got so bad that because we used to stream Warzone after the pod.
Yeah.
Which is, imagine doing that now. You couldn't. Yeah, I would sooner panhandle Like I just couldn't do it. So anyway, we would do that. And I remember after stream one time, or after the pod one time, we start streaming. I think it was literally 3 games in a row we lose to blatant cheaters, blatant aimbotters. I'm talking like iron sight FAL cheater, like so blatant. 3 games in a row, I'm pretty sure. And we were just like, okay, this shit's unplayable. It's just unplayable. So we just stopped playing for like months. Really horrific stuff. So that was really bad. And it's such a shame too, because like they introduce this game mode that is fun and that we want to play, but they are just such bad stewards of it. They can't update it ever, by the way. That's another thing. This game did not get updated at all. And, oh, fuck, I forgot. This bothered me lots. Multiplayer and Warzone. The fake news. All of the fake news.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys remember the patch notes?
Just was not true at all. Yeah.
Every single time there was a patch, the patch notes would either not come out at all. So you would be downloading malware. You would have no idea what it was because there'd be a download of 8 gigs and no patch notes for the past 3 weeks. Cool. Don't know what happened, but I guess I'll update. Or you would get patch notes and they were always literally, I'm not joking, literally every single time they were fake patch notes. This is why Exclusive Ace has a YouTube channel that generates revenue, is because he would have to manually test every single patch and compare what actually changed to the patch notes, and they were always inaccurate. They would either, and often both, omit changes they've made or say they've made changes they did not make. Literally one of those two, often both, every single patch. Every one. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not joking.
No,
It was literally every patch. Unconscionable. They've gotten better about this, to Activision's credit. But this is a steaming pile of horse dog shit game. Bad. Really bad.
Didn't we like actually for a period of time when we did the patch notes, I think we split it up into 2 sections. That was like, here's what changed.
Hidden patch notes. We called it hidden patch notes.
They said they changed and didn't. Yeah. And then it was like, here's what they said they changed and is like just straight up a lie and is the opposite of that, actually. Yeah. We had to split it up like that because most of the patch notes were just straight up lies. They were just wrong. Genuine
fabrications. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's weird because I still have the moment during Verdansk. Maybe you are right. Maybe it was during MW19 Cold War, whatever it was. I just remember playing Verdansk. I remember I was streaming. I remember where I was on the map. I was west of Hospital on that little hill. And I remember we were like fairly late into the match, and we all died to this guy spin botting. And I remember I was just like, dude, this is like, it's unplayable. And for some reason, I remember Leia was in chat and she was like, yeah, like the game's so bad with cheaters right now, like I'm going to take a break. And I just remember, I feel like that was the first time with Warzone where like, instead of getting mad, I was just like, it's like how I feel now. It's just like, dude, you can't even play the game. It's just riddled with cheaters. And that probably just actually started the downfall for me. Because it was like really fun at times, and then it's just doesn't matter how good something is if it's riddled with cheaters. And unfortunately, I've experienced that a lot before with the H1Z1 that died strictly because of a cheating situation they couldn't fix. Tarkov is that same way now and has been. Probably the biggest reason I stopped playing Tarkov is because what's the point? I don't have that much time to play. What am I going to do? Get on and play PvP and get hacked on all day? It's just unplayable. And that's how the game felt at that point during Verdansk. And it was like, there's no point in playing this game, because that game too, I think, is when you're talking about, it was like literally 3 or 4 matches in a row dying to blatant, literal spin botters, because back then they were spin botters. They were just standing in place. You'd watch the kill cam, they'd be spinning all around, turning. And they'd have like 50 kills with an iron sight gun. Yeah, it was literally unplayable for a long period of time because of that.
Yes. Absolutely, really bad. And what compounded the cheater problem was, so on top of them lying about patch notes, which they did literally every single time, which they should never be forgiven for, by the way. Thank God I remembered. What else did they lie about? Probably everything, to some degree. One of those things was SBMM.
Everything.
This is when we got the new and improved SBMM version. That again, 7 years later, they say they've reverted in certain playlists. Kill Yourself, the sequel. But they introduced this insanely tight, strict SBMM in multiplayer and in Warzone. And then just lied about it all the time. So if they ever like had to comment on it, which they very rarely did, they would just lie about it. There's no SBMM in large scale game modes, I was told, for example, in an interview. That was a blatant lie. Obviously, because people, I mean, Exclusive Ace, pick your YouTube creator, prove time and time again SBMM's real. We all know it now. They reverted it. Like, we all know it now. But they would just lie about it all the time. So, like, the lying about it really incenses me. But also just the existence of the SBMM in the way that they did it bothers the fuck out of me. And we used to beat this topic to death as well. And eventually, 2 or 3 years since MW19, we gave up. We were like, well, it's not going anywhere, so we might as well just put up with it. Like, I'm done talking about it because it's a waste of time. But we did multiple full episodes just talking about why SBMM is bad. Turns out we were right. And Activision agrees. Took them 7 years to figure it out. Took us 7 months, 7 weeks maybe. Like, just terrible, terrible thing to do. And that made the cheaters way worse, because if you were in that top SBMM bracket, all of your games had cheaters in it. Whereas if you were like in the middle of the pack or lower, you'll never see cheaters, because people getting 50 kills get put in the high SBMM brackets and you don't see them in your match. So the SBMM was really bad, and that compounded the cheater situation a lot. If there were literally no cheaters, SBMM still would have been quite bad, but it would have been infinitely more tolerable if it weren't for the rampant cheating problem that has always and will always, I guess, plague Call of Duty. So those two things were really, really, really fucking bad. And it applied to multiplayer and Warzone, but more relevant to us, Warzone. Just horrendous stuff. And this is when the API was like public, so you could go check the difficulty of your lobby. And like we would regularly be in lobbies where the average KD is a 1.3. That's like 90th percentile, by the way. And that's the average. Okay. There's just no way this is like a random. It doesn't happen randomly. That doesn't happen randomly. Once in a while, sure. But every single game, the average lobby KD is like 1.1 or 1.2 or higher. I remember seeing some people would post like 1.7s in our Discord. Like, those were rare because there just aren't that many good players that are that good. But like, they did happen because SBMM was real.
When did the API become public? Was that, I remember that really being a thing during Caldera. Was that even a thing in MW19 and Cold War?
It was for sure. I remember we said that's a bronze lobby when we beat up that guy.
That's right. Yep. So maybe that was later on. That might have also been more in the Cold War era, because I wouldn't think they would have public API that people had all these leaderboards for that early in the game's life, would they? Maybe they.
I think it was just they were open. It was open right away because they didn't think about it. So then it took a little while for like a website to come up and utilize it. And then they closed the loophole.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really sad. There was when it was like extremely popular, though. There were like a bunch of websites for it. We wouldn't ever play a match without looking at what the lobby was after, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
Every single day, like Lag would send screenshots of his lobbies and be like, terrible day on Warzone.
Yeah, 1.5.
See you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. Terrible fucking day of gaming. See you tomorrow for another 8 hours. Yeah,
exactly.
Also, Ramin, kill yourself. The numbers says otherwise. You can't factually say it's bad. Well, it had the highest player count. You need to kill yourself, Ramin. Yeah, so just stop.
Who is the best-selling music artist right now? Imagine Dragons. Are they a better band than, I don't know, pick your favorite band? No, probably not. How about fucking Miley Cyrus or Justin Bieber? Are they better artists than fucking Adele? I would say no.
Yeah,
they've
fuck
sold
you,
more
Ramin.
records, obviously. Stupid fucking argument. Yeah, I was going to address that. I forgot. Yeah, just a terrible thing to say. And then on top of this, what else did MW19 introduce? Well, again, the game was not maintained at all. So they didn't patch it. When they attempted to patch it, they fucked it up every time and lied about what they attempted to changed or didn't change, or omitted saying they changed. And every update, they would attempt to fix 10 bugs. They would successfully fix 3. They would introduce a new 5. So then by the time season 6 rolls around of MW19, we've got the demon polygon transmog, and we have people inside the map, underneath the map, spin botting you while doing the butterfly stroke. Like, it was a buggy fucking disaster. It was a buggy disaster of a game. Really bad. Really buggy. So you would have to contend with bugs, aim assist, sweaty kids, cheaters, and you'd have to fight the game itself just to play.
Yeah.
And when the stars aligned, you would have a good match, and everyone was just yearning for that. Like, oh, like, give me one good match where there's like no cheaters that I see, right? And it's not too sweaty of a lobby, and some kid with a Car 98 and a scuff doesn't look in my direction and sneeze. And then I'll have a lot of fun because they accidentally made a good game, or what could have been a good game. Was it ever? Really buggy mess. The demon polygon transmog is, of course, always my favorite. This is where you would get your loadout gun, and there would be so many pixels on your screen, you literally couldn't see anything.
That was bad. That
horrendous.
And that came and went for months.
Yeah.
And when it was really bad, it would be like that for days without them fixing it. Like, I think at one point it was that way for like a week straight or something like that. That made the game unplayable as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So many things made the game unplayable. So many fucking things, yeah. But those were some of them. But the biggest thing for me with MW19 and why it's the worst, to recap, visibility, audio, horrendous, and all the lies, all the lying. This was the studio and the game in which they lied to us the most was MW19. Also, when it was like almost at its most popular is when they tell us the most lies. And now when it's really, really unpopular, all of a sudden it's a mea culpa. Sorry about SBMM, guys. Sorry about disbanding lobbies, guys. Sorry about overpowered aim assist, guys. Oh, now you care about your consumer. Now you care to tell us the truth. Now you care to be forthright with us. Yuck. Yucky. Hey, do that when you're popular, and then you could have stayed popular. But instead you wanted to kill your own game by pretending you know better than your consumer. And this all started with MW19. So this was the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my adult life, in my entire life, actually. I almost drowned as a child when I was 2 years old, by the way. I fell in a pool. They rushed my bitch ass to the hospital, and they had to pump my stomach because I swallowed so much water. That was way better, and I'd do it again, than play MW19 for another year. And that's on Mamas. That is on Mamas. Terrible, awful year, awful game. The only saving grace was COVID. And I do wonder sometimes, if it weren't for COVID, would Warzone have been a thing? That buggy, cheater-filled fucking mess? Would that have been a game? Because it was also free to play. So, free to play, no one's allowed to leave their fucking house. It's a new BR and it has the Call of Duty name slapped on it. Yeah, it's going to do numbers. Was the game ever good? Or was it just a perfect storm? I really wonder if it weren't for COVID, if Warzone even would have been continued to have developed, or if it just would have gone the way of Blackout. where it's like, oh, cool, it's a cute little game mode for a year. We'll try something else next year. I really wonder. I truly do. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I suspect not, honestly, frankly. So yeah, MW19's awful, and Infinity Ward's awful, and they're the worst studio, and this is where it starts, and I'll never forgive them. And but Infinity Ward could get better. Okay, hey, get back to me next week when we talk about Modern Warfare #2 by Infinity Ward. Did they get better? No, they got fucking worse, arguably, actually. In fact, they did get worse. I promise you they got worse. So this is an awful studio. And if you're excited about the future of COD, oops, Infinity Ward's developing the next game. Easily the worst studio. And they have been since the crossplay era. And it starts here. All the lies, all the fake patch notes, the insane SBMM, the insane aim assist, terrible visibility, terrible audio. Did MW19 have terrible maps? Did MW19 have some things going for it? Yes. Not talking about them though. I wasn't paper cut 1,000 times by some of the good things MW 2019 happened to accidentally have. So, yeah. Fuck this game. Fuck that company. I hate Infinity Ward. I will never like them, and I'll never forgive them. And I'm very pleased to say I'll never patronize them again. They will never earn another fucking cent from me. Fuck that company. God, I hate them. Awful devs. The worst. And unfortunately, they're Activision's little teacher's pet. Their little baby bitch studio that they pour the most resources into. The worst one. The snakiest one. Terrible, terrible, terrible studio.
Oh no.
So
Ramin didn't listen to the disclaimer at the start of the episode. There's no truth or reason to this, Ramin. This episode series is all emotion. Hope that helps.
This is all waffling in a bundle of lies. Yes.
Yeah.
This is a bundle of lies.
You can believe whatever lie you want. This is the lie we're telling. So
yeah, these are the lies we're telling. Yeah, you need your own lie. So and what am I missing about MW19? What else was really bad about this game? Am I missing anything?
MW19 put COD back on the map because it was crossplay for the first time ever, which was huge. And because of COVID. That's the reason. It was mostly COVID.
Yes.
That game comes out during a non-COVID year. How much does Call of Duty really change? Not much. Not much at all.
Yeah.
Like how much... What percentage of the world was just like actually at home all the time if they weren't at work? And people that were at work were also just working from home. So it's like people were laid off, unemployed. I mean, it was a whole thing.
Drunk.
Remember how hard it was to build and get computer parts because everyone was like, I'm fucking home all day.
Yeah.
We
had to wait
get a
the
gaming
3090.
PC. Because people started seeing like, oh, Call of Duty's cross-platform now. I want to have a PC.
Yeah.
It was all due to COVID, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I don't think Warzone becomes what it is now without COVID. I don't think they would have kept developing it.
Probably. Warzone. Yeah, probably.
It probably would have been like Blackout in BO4. Like, maybe a little more popular because it was free to play, to be fair. But, like, so many fewer people would have continued to put up with it. So... yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it for MW19. And as you can see, I'm already bleeding a lot. That's like,
are you bleeding?
That's like 100 paper cuts right there. Yeah.
Oh, the FOV. Yeah, there's no FOV slider back then. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
That was fantastic
for consoles.
For us.
I loved that. Yeah, loved that. Mm-hmm.
Man, it's so sad looking back, dude. Because I remember before MW19 came out, or when it was coming out, my younger brother-in-law was a little retard, and he was
probably still is
little. I'm sure he still is. I don't know, but he was like shit talking me, saying he was gonna like farm me on Call of Duty MW19. I'm like, dude, you're on a controller. Like, controller is terrible. Like, you're genuinely gonna get farmed to good keyboard and mouse players. And then the game launched, and I was like, I wish I could not be in these lobbies with these kids because this is so broken, man.
Yeah, really bad.
God. It was funny though. I just remember like, dude, controller players are going to get absolutely fucking destroyed. There's no way you can compete. No, you can't. They made it so you could.
It's quite the opposite, in fact. Yeah.
It was quite the opposite, yeah.
Yeah. Boy, was that a shock to the system, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You remember how disheartening it was playing the MW19 beta?
Why don't we say our favorite thing about MW19, man? Can you say one good thing about it?
Yeah, I can say a lot of good things about it. No. My favorite thing about it was
that it ended. Got it.
Was the gunplay was really good. Shooting guns felt really good. Shooting the guns generally felt really good. They sounded really good. They looked really good. Something about the animations, I don't know what it was.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to get into.
Stance transition timing, really good. It had some good aspects.
It had some good like jumping and stuff too. Bunny hopping was nice. You can double bunny hop, which you can't do in COD anymore. Well, that was like the last time it was decent, basically.
Yeah.
Before it's
only gotten worse. That's fair. Yeah, sure.
It was actually really good for Call of Duty standards. It was really good bunny hopping. Yeah, that's kind of just basically what I wanted to mention before we get into Cold War. That was by far the best thing about MW19 is just the look and feel of everything. Like the modern, they're trying to go for a realistic vibe without making it a realism game. The guns looked good. Yeah, they sounded really good, like you're saying. Character models were nice. Character skins were cool looking. All that was excellent. All that was really, really good. Gunplay was fun. Yeah. Still possibly some of my favorite gunplay. That or MW3.
I agree.
But
I like MW19's really better, actually. The problem is, like, it's hard for me to care about the gunplay being good when I can't see or hear what I'm supposed to shoot at.
Yeah.
Cool. Really good gunplay that I can shoot at the sun because I can see it. But, like, if I can't see you, I don't care how good the gunplay is anymore. And that just constantly happened all fucking year. All fucking year. And aim assist. Like, cool. I have cool gunplay. I'm off by 1 fucking micropixel. I'm dead.
Yeah. So,
like, holy shit, man. Hipfire was also way too good in that game. This is nitpicking. This is not a paper cut issue. This did not kill me, but the hipfire was way too good for how fast the time to kill was. You get that MP5, build it with a 5 milliwatt laser on that sucker, and just cross map people hipfire. Like, end up dead in 2 bullets. Like, hipfire was just so fucking good in that game. Which, bugged me a little bit, but this also introduced slide canceling, which was like a bug that they just didn't bother fixing because they couldn't probably. I don't know if they ever wanted to, but like slide cancel, resetting tac sprint or whatever. We spent a lot of time actually on that topic as well.
It was a bug. Yeah.
It was a bug that just became a feature because everyone liked it, I guess.
They never fixed.
Yeah. And again, they probably wanted to, but are incapable. So, I don't know, but
that was, I believe, one of Ted's famous lines on Twitter that he had said is that slide canceling resetting tac sprint was actually not an intended feature and instead was a bug that they just never fixed. I'm 90% sure that was Ted Timmons on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Stupid fuck.
Well, Ted Timmons would at least be honest with us for all of his faults.
Yeah.
And speaking of Ted Timmons, the next topic is Cold War. So we didn't finish the notes for Cold War.
There are no notes. It was a terrible game. Treyarch fucking sucks. They should never develop video games ever again. They need to stop the Black Ops franchise, the Black Ops series. They need to stop doing anything futuristic. They need to stop doing anything related to the 80s. They need to stop making video games that involve gunplay because they're not good at it, etc.
Yes. Yeah. So,
I hated this game much more than MW19, by the way, let the record show.
Yeah, I
fucking hated Cold War.
Yeah.
Every Treyarch game is dog shit trash slop. Okay. And you'll learn throughout this 2, 3, 4, or maybe 5-part series. Every COD game is trash slop, actually. So,
that's the issue.
All of these studios suck except for right now Sledgehammer. We'll see if they can do it again. But so far, they were the last development team to make a actual really good game.
There's only been one Call of Duty game that was good since we started this podcast, and it was MW3. Yeah. So, I don't know. Did we get into Cold War? We're at 55 minutes here.
Yes, of course we do. What if we don't? Then I mean,
7-parter.
we're not doing a 7. This episode's gonna finish this summer, man. Like you were saying, yeah. There's no way.
Yeah. Well, by the time we finish, there'll be snow on the map on Rebirth.
We'll do Cold War, because then when we get to, let's think about the other games. Vanguard won't honestly take that long.
Vanguard, I have one note for Vanguard.
Vanguard just didn't matter.
And it's that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Vanguard did not matter. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't good. It was kind of just a waste of a year.
Yeah, it was.
MW2, there will be a lot to say. MW3, there won't be much, because again, this is nothing positive at all. So there won't be much to say there. And then BO6 and BO7 are just, I mean, they're kind of erased from my memory as well. Yeah. So
yeah.
Right. I think we do Cold War.
Okay, so Cold War, starting out with Cold War, these are not as complete of notes. Because honestly, I don't have as much bad to say about Cold War. Tanner really fucking hates it, and I'm sure he'll tell us why.
But not much to say, yeah.
I liked Cold War much more than I liked MW19. And I'm not really going to talk about why, although I guess I will now briefly. I could see and hear people. Well, I could see people very easily in Cold War.
Really good maps, too.
The maps were very good.
Excellent maps.
Yeah, and I think the audio was better, although I don't remember. I don't remember hating it as much as MW19. I'm sure it was bad.
Audio is fine. It's a Call of Duty multiplayer game, so it was horrendous,
right.
obviously.
By Call of Duty standards, it was probably 10 out of 10, but by video game standards, probably 4, but better than 1. So yeah. But the first thing with Cold War, we'll start from the start. It was the worst launch of a Call of Duty game ever from a technical standpoint. I mean, billions of people crashing on PC, and like no one on PlayStation or Xbox could play it. I don't remember the console. For like a month, it seemed like a really long time. Tanner had this issue. I was lucky enough to dodge it, I guess. It was horrendous. It was horrendous. It was the worst launch ever. Like, people just could not play it. And that was
I think
pretty
what
bad.
we had talked about back then is that it seemed like the game was designed strictly for console, and then they just also ported it over to PC, and it just didn't work. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of crashing.
Like, you just kept like crashing
on launch. I remember. Yeah. That was. We're probably wrong, because everything we've said so far has been a lie.
Bundle of lies.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think Cold War was the launch that was the really, really, really bad one during our pod Call of Duty life cycle, in terms of like crashing issues, people unable to play, other than MW2 Warzone, which consoles could basically not play. But I think for a multiplayer game, I think Cold War was the year, if I'm remembering correctly, that was really, really bad.
I agree. I'm almost certain that's the case. Yeah. So it was like a really, really fucking bad launch. And then there was also an issue with one of the maps. Actually, kind of all of the maps. You wouldn't get you'd get a voice crack, and you wouldn't get enemy nameplates to show up if you didn't have like the flashlight attachment.
Yeah, such a stupid.
So the visibility actually wasn't
one of the many things
great.
I hate about Treyarch games, dumb fucking shit like that.
Yeah.
Having to put a weapon attachment on to see their nameplate further. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. So that was pretty bad. Still better visibility than MW19 though, because at least there was an attachment I could use to see people all of a sudden. Couldn't ever in MW19. Didn't matter. But yeah, the launch was terrible. That was another issue, but it had a lot less bad shit going for it. One thing we're not going to do, and why every game after MW19 is not going to take as long to get through. Number one, the depths of my hatred cannot be surpassed when it comes to MW19. So I'll never hate anything more than I hate MW19. So I just am going to have less to say. But also, I'm not going to repeat crossplay or aim assist every time. Because they all are going to have crossplay and insane aim assist. So
that's what they're telling me, yeah.
Not going to rehash that every time. So those are just givens. Just assume those are also, I'm just continually being fucking sliced by paper in that way. day after day after day after day after hour after hour.
Tonight.
A machete? Get a little butterfly knife?
Take a little machete to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I mean, everything you said about MW19, how much you hate it, that's how I felt with Cold War. Just slop. Treyarch develops slop feeling and looking video games. Gunplay, complete fucking ass. The look of guns, weapon models, completely fucking ass. Character models, terrible. Character skins, terrible.
Yeah.
Audio design of the guns. I'm not talking about how good the audio was of Footsteps. Audio designed, the
toys.
Quality of sounds, terrible.
Yeah.
Toys, fake.
Yeah.
The look of maps. Well, the maps were good, fake.
Yeah. Right.
Just all of it. The look of the UI, terrible. The sound of the UI, terrible. The look of medals popping up on my screen, terrible. All of it. There's nothing that I like about Treyarch games. Yeah. Period. Yeah. That's what there's not like really that much to say because like genuinely I just don't like how the games feel and look. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I don't know how else to explain it. I don't like the main aspect of the game, which is looking at my monitor with the game open. So like there's nothing to enjoy about it.
Yeah. Which is totally
terrible
fair.
Fucking game.
Yeah.
There was one really, really good thing about Cold War, and that was getting the health bars, which helped with visibility coming off of MW19. That was an excellent addition, just having that.
Yeah.
Time to kill was nice on Cold War too. Kind of. It also made controller much better.
Yeah, that's the double-edged sword. Yeah, exactly. Oh, another really bad thing about Cold War multiplayer is the LMGs were overpowered until Season 6 Reloaded. You could, I mean, the time to kill was 20 minutes. Unless you had an LMG, you could two-tap someone from 150 meters. And it would be the same time to kill as if you were at 1 meter. I don't know why they had infinite damage range with like a barrel. And then the snipers were ridiculous. They nerfed these sooner than they nerfed the LMGs, if I recall correctly. # bundle of lies. But still, on launch and for a couple seasons, maybe not a couple seasons, but a couple weeks, maybe months, maybe seasons, they had like no flinch or something, like something insane. Like they had aim assist and no flinch. I don't remember exactly what it was. Doesn't matter. They were very overpowered. They were extremely overpowered. So like those two were overpowered for way too long. That was another bad thing about it. But as far as the multiplayer goes, I totally understand what Tanner is saying, and that's totally valid. And I've felt that way about games before. I just don't like how it feels. Like the UI bothers me. The medals bother me. The fucking menu noises when you click a button bothers me. I get that. I just didn't feel that way about Cold War. I have felt that way about other games. But yeah, I understand that feeling. Because again, this is not an objective episode. This is what cut us up 1,000 times. This was a lot. This was a big bundle of them for Tanner. I didn't have those, but other than that, the game also did feel quite floaty. I don't know how else to describe it. But it felt the opposite of very responsive. Like MW19 felt responsive. Like if I move my character, if I crouch, if I slide, it was a better game. Yeah, if I prone, game, well, don't know about that. If I ADS,
fluid. It was fluid. Very, very fluid.
It felt snappy, responsive, more fluid. Cold War feels like the opposite of those things. And the best way I can describe it is floaty. It felt very floaty. Not good. Like imagine if you are, I don't know, man. Like MW19 is like you're holding a baseball bat normally, and then you're swinging it. Yeah. And then Cold War was like you're holding a string that's tied to the handle of a baseball bat, and you're trying to swing that. Like you're in control of the bat, but like it's literally floaty. Like it's not as, there's like a weird, I don't know. I don't know. Just felt floaty. That's all I can say about it. And then not really much else to say about multiplayer, but the Warzone integration there is more to say about. Merry Christmas. Here's the DMR. We're gone for the next 3 weeks.
GG. Yeah. Yep.
That 3-tapped Berthas, by the way. Like this was now a lot of people had a lot of fun with this. I know Tanner's in that camp. but this was arguably the most overpowered weapon of all time, and it remained so for 2 or 3 weeks while they were on Christmas break.
Yeah.
And it made Warzone pretty ass. Like, you had to walk everywhere. Like, you literally couldn't drive a vehicle. You would just get gunned down so fast. It just did so much damage. So, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it was also, it was a little bit of fun for a short period of time, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun for, like a day or two, and then you're like, all right, well, now other people can use it too. That's the problem.
I think the biggest thing going from MW19 to Cold War was, MW19 still probably the most fluid feeling COD we've ever had, other than possibly MW3. MW3 felt similar in a lot of ways, but overall, MW19 probably the most fluid movement we've ever had. And then you go from that to Cold War, which felt like that one fairly popular free-to-play FPS game from like 2012 that everybody played for like 6 months. I can't think of the name. It felt like that. It felt like a free-to-play FPS title. Yeah, because it was a fucking terrible game, and Treyarch sucks cock a lot. Yeah,
it does. It sucks really bad. Yeah, I mean, and that's evident. So anyway, what we got Warzone, the Warzone integration. I mean, this was a disaster for a lot of reasons. The DMR for Christmas was one thing, but also, I mean, just do you guys remember like the strafe speed with LMGs? Like they tried to port the weapons over. This is what started the I have 3 games worth of guns and only 3 of them are good era of Warzone, because we kept the MW19 guns and brought in the Cold War ones. They really sucked balls, and then it took them like 2 months to finally oh my bad. And then it took them like 2 months to finally fucking fix them and make them better. So like there was like a suppressor, and they finally made it like, oh, okay, and Warzone is going to do the same shit as the monolithic, basically, or whatever. So like they were really terrible, and then they became finally like meta after months and months and months, which isn't the end of the world, but also there were just a lot of new bugs with the integration. That LMG strafe speed was one of them. I don't remember any other ones, but I know there were a ton more. I know it was a super messy integration.
There were a lot of weapon balance bugs as well. Like when they did the axial 3 times or whatever it was, remember it zoomed like a sniper scope 6 to 7 times?
Yeah.
Which actually honestly was fun, but then they kind of had to fix it. Like I kind of wish they didn't, but it's way more balanced with it fixed, so they did. And it took them way too long again. There was the DMR meta, there was the M16 busted OP meta, there was the AUG busted OP meta. I feel like that year in general, they had a lot of issues with weapon balance. And, you know, maybe sometimes they do these things on purpose, because like, look at us talking back and remembering those moments. For however bad they are, they bring up memories of the game where it's like, I feel like we just haven't had that in a while. Like it seems like they don't do that as much, honestly. They don't make like really busted OP metas anymore. And for how often we used to get them, it does kind of seem like it was intentional to kind of spice up the game, get people talking about it. I don't know, but it's like you don't get that.
I don't think that highly of them.
Yeah.
I think they were just shit and got lucky again, I guess.
You think, yeah?
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, I mean, maybe you could be right. You could be right, but I refuse to give them that much credit, frankly.
Oh, yeah, the one blueprint did more damage, for the MAC-10, was it?
Oh, pay-to-win skins, by the way, the Rose Operator skin and shit, that started with MW19, but continued.
Yeah. Yeah. The map though, Verdansk 84, in my opinion, much well, it actually was a better map. I think it was better than OG Verdansk, but the visibility was worse because of the yellow, ugly orange skybox they did with a bright, very bright sun.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think the actual map itself was better.
The problem with Verdansk 84 wasn't so much the map itself, it's that it was insufficiently different than Verdansk original. Like we were hoping for something drastically different, and it wasn't. Like Quarry became salt mines.
That was worse.
So that was just
area
worse. That was just worse. And then like what else changed? Like I know there was other shit,
areas changed.
ask.
The huge giant array area was much better.
Oh, the giant array? Yeah, that was an improvement.
There.
Yeah, that was an improvement. That's a fucking giant array.
The top northwest of the map, when they built they built Summit there. That was
Summit, yeah. That was an improvement.
They redid all of Dam. That was a much better part of the map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dam was terrible. Obviously.
I think they just
is this when we got repels?
Oh, this is when, they started doing all the cheesy shit, like Pat said, the red rooms where it would fucking spawn you up in the air when you went through a certain door.
Yeah.
That was bad. Yeah, that was when they started doing... Yeah, because that's a Treyarch's year, so they started doing dumb, cheesy shit.
Is this when we started getting redeploy packs and fucking gulag tokens? Or was that Vanguard?
I don't remember. I don't think that was until... I don't even think that was Vanguard. That was MW2.
It was definitely on Caldera. No, it was definitely on Caldera. 1,000%. Yes, I remember
Flares
it very distinctly. I don't know about flares, but I think flares. But it definitely had redeploy packs. It had the tokens. Yeah.
I remember most of that being on MW2, but yeah, it was probably on Vanguard as well.
I think that's where it started. Yeah, Vanguard. Yeah. But yeah, besides that, honestly, I don't remember Cold War Warzone that much. Because, yeah, it was Verdansk 84.
Also not a very memorable year, yeah.
Kind of a memory black hole.
Yeah.
Still a lot of cheaters. That's the thing, too, is like, again, why no other section is going to be as long as MW19. I could say almost everything I said about MW19 about Cold War, especially when it comes to Warzone. Cheaters, Verdansk, bugs, SBMM. Oh, and something I forgot, no ranked Warzone. So Warzone at its most popular,
sucks.
There was no ranked.
Yeah.
It would have been a disaster. You're right. There were so many cheaters, it would have not even made sense to do it, actually. But like, I remember everyone was clamoring for this for so fucking long, and they just didn't do it ever. Just completely insane. Diabolical stuff. Really bad stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway. Yeah. And then what else with Cold War? What else bothered me about Cold War? Honestly, I think that's kind of it for me. I don't remember Warzone very much.
There were fun
like the
moments because that's when we had the Swiss. Yeah, there were also so there were some like really busted OP metas, but then it feels like we also had fun ones that year because we had the Swiss. The MAC-10 was one of the best guns we've ever had in Warzone. Yeah. The Swiss, especially though, just so much fun sniping back then. God damn. Yeah, that was really, really fun actually.
Yeah.
It was also, like Warzone was better than multiplayer because it still felt like an MW19 game, which I liked a lot better than feeling like Cold War, you know?
Yeah.
Like Warzone now, I guess, feels like Black Ops. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Haven't played in a year.
One thing that was hilarious about Cold War, was that the guns felt so different in multiplayer versus Warzone. Like you would go level up the MAC-10 in multiplayer and it would like fire twice as fast. It'd have 8 times more recoil. It would have like way different time to kill. And then you take the same gun into Warzone with the same attachments and it feels like a different gun. I will never get over that shit. That was so funny. I remember talking about that a lot. I was like, bro, this thing is like entirely different. Very weird. Very weird stuff. But Cold War. Other than that, I don't think I really have anything else to say. Slur.
Yeah, I don't know. I think most of our fun Warzone clips, now that I think about it, because I remember the Swiss existed, did come during the Cold War era.
I think Warzone definitely improved toward like the latter half of Cold War. Yes. Because they finally they finally ironed out most of the integration bugs. They actually did weapon balance. We got some cool new weapons. Map was somewhat different. Yeah.
That was also our first introduction to guns having a lot of different types of builds for your play
Yes.
style. That actually might have been the best year of Warzone for that. Like, I will never forget how you could use the XM4 like short barrel with iron sights as an SMG. You could use the XM4 as a sniper support build, and you can put a 3x on it and use it as a long range gun. And kind of the same thing with the AK. So there was a lot of that, which was really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably would have liked that year much better. Like, actually, if Verdansk 84 just simply was a normal, like the skybox of Urzikstan, basically. If it just looked like that on that same map, I probably would have enjoyed it so much more. But there's so many like annoying visibility problems on that map. But yeah, that actual year of Warzone, I think, was probably decent overall. Thinking about it a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Now, to be clear, that's not to say it was good, because it wasn't. Because again,
it's Call of Duty, so no, it's not good.
It's Call of Duty, it was Warzone, and again, yeah, there were still cheaters, there were still bugs, there was still SBMM. So, still was pretty bad, but was better than MW 19. Yeah, for sure. Because once Treyarch took over, I think, which I think they did, the Warzone like actual patching and stuff, we got way fewer fake patch notes also, which was nice. And we weren't lied to as often. But there were still plenty of problems here, don't get me wrong. But they were small enough to escape my notice outside of what we've said, plus cheaters, plus SBMM, plus bugs, which there were plenty of. Yeah. So, anyway. All right, well, that's it for today. So we will continue this episode next week, either on Thursday or Saturday, and we'll get into Vanguard and Onward, and we'll have more to say. Unironically, this is going to be like a 3-part episode, probably. Maybe. Or maybe 2. But we'll see. But yeah, most of the time would have been MW 19. And the end, because we're going to cap it off, too, once we get through BO6/7. Yeah. So, anyway, anything else for you, buddy?
No.
All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, it'll take as long as it takes, Pat. So if we do another hour and a half and we still need more, then we'll do more. So, yeah. We will see you guys next week. Love you. Patreon.com/Dropshot. Best way to support the show. Ad-free and early access episodes. And until then, so long and goodbye.
Yeah, so long.